spots a day. There is no ASMR. It's just ASS. That's all you get when you come this way without a single R, dude. Like, it's just nice try, A for effort, but like
that's what I thought
on the Mascol spot. I just don't have it. I can't do it. I got no BB, no ASMR. I got nothing. I got 1, 2, 3. That's all I got. That's what I do.
Well, we'll leave it up.
Can you hear me on this one?
I can hear you on that one, yeah.
Switch to this one then.
All right, let's try this. All right, I'm gonna do a quick switch.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to grab.
That's a big yell of it. I'm gonna get my close up, Mr. Yager.
Now we've got to figure out how to get all of us in the picture.
We'll just have to.
The same ball as like the canister company, right?
Well,
like
well, and you know and you know like what the commentators call it, right? The ball arena. We call it the sack.
Get the hell out of here! No,
I swear to God, yeah, we call it the sack. I swear to God.
All right, I'm done.
That's it. Yeah. End the show, Johnny. Go raid somebody. We're good.
I
On aircraft last week.
I'm glad. I was gonna say I'm glad Coastal gave that lady his 2 inches worth. I mean 2 cents worth. I'm sorry.
You got Marky bad. I love it. No, that lady, like, she wasn't even discreet about it. No, you can ask John. She, like, literally leaned over John's shoulder and looked at my phone.
In the rule of life, you never say no to free ice cream.
That is a guaranteed truth of life, Les Lucas. That is true.
Words of
Free
wisdom
ice cream
from the journalist Lucas Broadway.
That's right. Heed those words. How we doing, everybody?
Greetings.
Yeah. Hey, Queen. Hey, Hunter. What's happening all out there in Rascal Land, RMP Land, the interwebs that is of wrestling tonight? How we doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
All right. Yeah, forget about it, man. We're good. Forget about it. That's right.
All right. Why does the audio seem quiet than normal? Let's see here. Let's do a quick adjustment right there. You guys should be sounding a little better.
Should we sound a little bit better? Is it louder? Is it softer? Is it right where you need
I didn't
it?
ask you to sing.
I know. I don't even know why I was. I have no idea. I asked 3 sentences in song. I have no idea where that came from.
If you're gonna sing, at least freaking try, for freak's sake.
I was trying. That's the problem. That was as hard as I tried.
You can always pull the Neil Diamond and talk sing. He doesn't sing. He just speaks like in rhythm.
A lot of those guys did. Half of the song was talking, half of the song. Tony Bennett. Listen to Tony Bennett sing. Half of the singing is talking.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Dudes and Belts Recharge, based off of the recent news from the wrestling world today. Legendary Hulk Hogan passed away at 71 today. I would like a little bit more time tonight to maybe say a few things, but we'll just hold on that till Sunday because we definitely have a much more of an abbreviated show tonight. So we're just going to skip past that. We'll do all that on Sunday. Before we get into everything, let's introduce the panel. On the top left, he is the one that lives way up there on the east coast of Maine. He is the one and only Coastal Crusader.
What's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday. We got a lot to talk about tonight on a crazy episode of Charge. The Tortured Souls are going after Marty. Who knows what's going to happen? Let's go.
On the top right, he is your resident masshole himself. He is the one and only referee, Marky Pens.
What is good, everybody? Like the Crusader said, so much chaosity going on at Rocky Mountain Pro right now. The higher-ups, the law, Matt Yaden, these guys are on to Preston. I think we found out what was going on in that little rule book. I think it explains a few things. We'll get there in a little while.
And on the bottom, he is your resident encyclopedia and CMS journalist slash ring announcer slash commentator, the one and only Lucas Bradwell. I ain't got time to insult you today, so there you go.
Well, then I won't have time to rebut. We'll just go right into this episode. A lot of stuff to talk about, guys. Can't wait.
Love the honesty, guy. Straight up.
All right, let's get right into episode 456 this evening. We should start off with what actually kicked off the show with D'Lo and Damon's interaction backstage, and we all know that Preston's been trying to manipulate the rules somewhat, and was able to find a way to get Marcio Santos a shot at the RMP Championship at NRW coming up. No Rules Wrestling. That's going to be happening in a couple weeks. And even though Preston was able to give that to Marcio, D'Lo is trying to counteract Preston in a way and is now giving the champ the option of the stipulation for that championship match.
That's a dangerous thing. We've seen it in the past where the champ gets to make the stipulation. Is Damon Ace the champ now for this particular situation? I know that's more along the lines for the NRW championship, but it's also the Rocky Mountain Pro champion that can also have the right to say, I want to make my own stip. But in this case, D'Lo just kind of handed it. Now, fellas, we're going to see a lot of this situation of, I think there's some comeuppance coming for Preston throughout. This was just, I think, the first cut of the cake. And we see later with Matt and D'Lo with Preston and everything. I think we found out how Preston's been skirting a lot of rules with this rule book. But boys, maybe we could spend a few minutes and just kind of talk about this whole Preston D'Lo law office situation here, because we can kill a few birds with one stone. I really think that at this point now, the rule book that Preston's been carrying, and now that D'Lo and Matt are onto it, is extremely like one of those cases where I think Preston should have stopped when he was already ahead. Because I don't know if it had gotten to this point where now you have to worry. And does Marcio Santos have to worry about this very much? Yes. Does Preston have to worry about this even more? Boys, I ask you the question. I think Preston has to worry about this even more. Because if this was the title match that Preston had been pressing towards Preston, that is a lot of alliteration right there. I dare you to try to say that. But if this is the way it's been going, and that comes out at NRW where Damon gets the step. Coastal, do you think that Marcio's got a beef to come back and be like, hey, Preston, you didn't work that hard here. All of a sudden, Damon Ace is in a whatever I want match with me. This is what I wanted, but this is nowhere near how you said you'd give it to me.
I mean, we've been talking for months about how actions have consequences. And this is kind of a double whammy for Preston because, number one, he's gotten figured out by D'Lo. So, as you said, sometimes, you know the expression, the harder you squeeze, the more slips through your fingers. Preston's squeezing really, really too hard right now, and it's starting to fall out because this has massive blowback. On one hand, you have if Marcio wins, and as dominant as we've seen Damon, that's not a very big possibility in my opinion, especially that Damon gets to pick his own way to torture you, which is terrifying. This is like giving the torturer the keys to the kingdom. Like, oh, do whatever you want, it's fine. Like, Damon is going to come up with some extremely violent way to defend his title, and Marcio needs to be ready. But here's the blowback for Preston. Not only was he got, but Lucas, what happens if Marcio goes out there and just gets, the crap kicked out of him and then loses? Preston's the reason he had to go through all that violence. He offered him a title shot, not walking into war.
Yeah, Preston is getting in over his head, and he doesn't realize it. He got over it. He got overzealous. He didn't think that. First, he underestimated the intelligence of D'Lo Brown and Mercury Yaden. Thinking, these guys are too busy. They're not going to realize what I've done with these rules and so now Mercury, you now have forced the hand of Mercury Yaden and D'Lo Brown to not only, amend these rules, but now they're going to come up with their own set of rules. They're going to come up with a brand new rule book.
Well, they kind of have
Yaden-
to after what Preston showed them tonight.
It's covered in
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah. So yeah, we can't trust Preston. Obviously, we've known that forever. That we knew that the moment he stepped foot in Rocky Mountain Pro. But for him to think that he was just going to be able to get away with this, and everyone was just going to go along with it, well, now it's all catching up to him, and we know that Damon Ace is capable of just about anything. So whatever kind of match that he's got in store for Marcio, you can guarantee that it's going to be one of the most sadistic and most brutal matches that we've ever seen. I mean, you thought that the Weapons of Mass Destruction match was bad? Who knows what the hell he'll have in store?
Right.
Preston in a cage. I'm just saying, it'd be a good thing to work in there.
Preston in a cage to do what?
No, like, you know how they used to have the shark cage matches? We'll put Preston in the cage and raise him about, 20 feet in the air.
Well, technically, Marcio is not really too much aligned with the law office, so.
You really think Preston's not going to be out there to protect his so-called investment at this point?
I don't know. Depends.
Well, let's look at the facts, what we saw later. We also saw later in this episode, Slade caught up with Marcio Santos again and asked him point blank, what's your relationship with the law office? Like point blank, no mincing the words. And he repeated himself again, just mind your own business. At the first time, it could have been he was pissed, he was hot, and I understand what's going on. This time, I think that there is more of a connection than some people are giving it credit for, but I kind of believe the enemy, it's another one of these enemy of my enemy is my friend situations where Preston is valuable to Marcio for one thing only, rule bending and kind of getting what he wants. I think if it doesn't work out so good, Preston is going to absolutely have to deal with the returns package that comes with the store that he shops at and the way he conducts his own business.
All right, moving on here. We have, once again, another Charge Championship match that took place tonight. We had RJ Wild going up against your Charge champion, Caden Koyama. And no roll-up was necessary tonight.
No. This was an awesome match because Caden has really run the gamut here of styles of opponents in his defenses. He had, kind of a more fighter in Kevin Koa last week. He had, he's had big guys. He's had quick guys. And now it's kind of one of those things like every week Caden impresses me because he adapts. He figures out who he's wrestling. It doesn't take him very long to figure out, okay, this is what I need to do. His XP's off the charts right now. His ring IQ is helping him make this title reign what it is because nothing's surprising him. If you want to slug it out, Caden's going to slug it out with you. He's going to find a way to win, as we've seen with roll-ups and then tonight with the pedigree. Mark, this is one of the coolest title defenses I've seen because of the type of opponents, the variety of opponents, and just how dominant Caden has looked.
It really is. And they've been consistent too. Like the frequency of how many times he's defending this championship is also something that can't be had a stick shaked at it. Jeez, I got to stop trying to say these things when I can't really talk in some night. That was close, but no, at this point right now, Caden is just defining what this championship is, the workhorse title, the mentality, the old school work hard and go get it. And, I think tonight RJ Wild had one of the few things that you needed if you were going to beat Caden Koyama at his own game, which is defending the damn Charge Championship in front of everybody while the show is going on. And that is unpredictability. And this is one of the only times you could say he's fought somebody that there is 0 XP between them. Not that RJ has 0 XP, but this is a total blank slate to a Caden Koyama. He's never been in the ring with him. He's never really seen this very little tape and footage on the kid. He's just making his debut. So, and we saw a few times in the match where Caden thought something was coming and it didn't. RJ used that for a quick second. The kid's fast, Lucas. He's good. He's got quick hands. He's got educated feet. And you could tell he's paying attention to some of the older fellas that have been there. He threw a good match at Koyama. He did have him on his heels a couple times, but at the end of the day, Caden just said, nope, pedigree, this is how I win matches. And Lucas, this is the textbook definition why he is the charge champion, and for as long as he wants to be, I think.
Totally agree. And guys, I'm gonna kind of go. I'm gonna plant my flag here tonight, and I'm gonna say that Caden is well on his way to having the greatest charge championship run in Rocky Mountain Pro history that we've ever witnessed. I'm saying that right now. I'm not saying that. Yep. I'm not saying that he's quite there yet, but he's getting darn close. The way he's just gone through everybody, and you guys everything you guys mentioned is the reason why. He's done it against different styles. He's the frequency that he's done it, the ways that he's done it. It's just been, it has been. He's run the gambit. You guys talked about it, and it just finds different ways to win. He can do it in dominant fashion. He can squeak out a win. It's whatever he has to do to defend that title. That's what he does. He's done it great. And like I've said before, it's an absolute joy to watch him defend that title. So that's my stance. I think he is well on his way to having the greatest charge championship run we've ever seen.
I got to agree. Like they say in poker, sometimes you can't win them all if you don't win the first one. And he just keeps winning them and proving his point. And if this keeps going on for a few more months, all of a sudden, 6 months, he's been the charge champion for a year and everything. You are damn straight, Lucas. Like that is not a hard fight to have to defend, that he would be one of the greatest, if not the greatest charge champion of all time. We know there's a great line of them. Damon Ace was a hell of a fighting champion. Severino Corrente, the self-proclaimed greatest charge champion of all time. There's a long line.
Bruce Wayne.
He's putting his name on it right now. The ticket, Bruce Wayne's. Agree.
Remy D.
Yeah.
Remy.
Damon Ace.
Yeah.
All right, moving
that was
on.
When he killed me. I remember that. He was the champion then. That's when he killed me.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like next week we are going to have a confrontation between Zamori and Dylan Anderson as that NRW championship match will lose. What do you think's going to happen here? And honestly, what do you think the possible stipulation for these two could be?
How about they go false count anywhere again, but this time no Preston? And honestly, in all fairness, you guys don't have to go up to the balcony. You don't have to. Yeah.
It falls anywhere.
Yeah, but we don't mean literal fall with gravity. We mean a pinfall. Right. We don't need the doom fall. Like that would have been. But, right. This would have been the time. Right. Kev, just on Twitch, he said it exactly perfectly. But no, the sky's the limit. Z, we see Z later, and he looks like the clearest conscience he's ever had. He looks like he is back focused, going straight ahead in his career. We haven't seen him look this good in a long time. And that last time when he was looking great, this is even better. So good on him. But boys, this war is, I think we kind of had a figuring that like this was never over just because Preston threw that towel in a long time ago. This has potential to just be doom all over the place.
Hear me out on this. Now, I agree with you 100%. Preston, the part of the stipulation needs to be Preston is barred from ringside, as is the other law office. But for the style of match, hear me out. Submission match. I quit. Now, one would think that would favor Dylan Anderson because of the chicken wing. Let's not forget Zamore has that guillotine choke that he uses, that half chancery. And guys, Zamore's a big dude. It's hard, Lucas, to put a chicken wing on a dude that big.
Yeah, he's got a lot of girth to him. It is very difficult. That would be a good decision by Zamore, but we don't know exactly what Zamore's mindset is. Maybe he feels he has something to prove against Dylan Anderson. Maybe he wants to have that same stipulation to show, hey, well, I'm giving you another chance at the same time. Let's see if you guys throw in the towel again this time.
All right, moving on here. We did have a couple tag team matches tonight. First one, Cease and Desist, our favorite duo in all of Rocky Mountain Pro right now, going up against Southside Hustle.
Actually, I got to give the boys some credit. This was a very good match. Both teams across. This was very even. Two Dame, boy, what a confidence boost in the kid, huh? Just the way he's going about himself. He found that next gear, and this is what you hope for when a kid has success, and you hope he finds that next gear. I'm not gonna lie, I think Eric Reyes and Cookie Wright already had that next gear. Straight up, I don't like how they go through things. I do not. But you have to, be respectful when you see it, and you got to respect talent. And Cease and Desist have it. They also have all the other stuff that you're not really looking for. But Two Dame takes care of that big in the beginning of the match, goes through Cease and Desist, kind of owns Eric Reyes for a few minutes. Kind of go back and forth. Sammy gets in. We see the classic isolation. Look, we know these guys are young, but they're also very cohesive. Coastal, I know you're going to talk about this as a tag team guy, but I think they're more cohesive of that, like, kind of way about the tag team wrestling than I think maybe a little bit more than Sammy and Two Dame are. I think they're on a little bit more of the same page where there is a budding relationship between Sammy and Two Dame. Although I think we need to talk about that at the end of the match. Cease and Desist are really on that path, and we'll see at the end of the show too. They were standing right up to Chopper City, no problem. But Two Dame is really in control here, but he tags a hurting Sammy back in. And at that point, I know where Two Dame was going. He was trying to get the big move and get the win. And I totally understand it, but man, Sammy had just been in there for more than a few minutes and had his bell rung and really had been thrown around and kind of been hurt. And he could have used another minute of air, but he didn't get it. Cease and Desist jump all over it. And that finisher they have is extremely impressive. That, like, hanging neck breaker slam. It's beautiful. And they do end up getting the win here. Cease and Desist with a big win. Talking about Chopper City, talking about putting their names out there. Coastal, do you think that they're ready? Their in-ring says that they are, but their side shenanigans on the end of the thing says they also depend on that. You're going to have to depend on a lot more than just hoping the ref isn't looking if you're going after a Chopper City or a Pretty City Express.
Yeah, just ask
100%.
Kevin.
Huh?
Yeah, just ask Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. I wanted to say something because the poor bastard's in chat right now. Reyes, you suck. Turn around and spin kick the camera guy. You're an ass. You're an ass.
He jumped him, basically, is what he did. But getting back to the match, Mark, you are 100% correct. And I think, as much as I hate it, Cease and Desist reminds me a lot of Pretty City Express. You may not like the way they get the results, but they get the results. And they did tonight. And let's face it, Preston wasn't a part of it. He wasn't. Most of the time we say that he played a major role in this win. But tonight he didn't. They jumped on an opportunity, which leads me to another point you made, Mark. They are on a little bit more of a cohesive standard than Southside Hustle, because Southside Hustle, I get it. Two Dame, man, your confidence is insane right now. You're performing at a good level, but you stuck to Plan A. Plan A was to hit the big move. You needed to go to Plan B, which was maybe take a few extra minutes, let your partner, recover a little bit, and then maybe try and set that up. I like you said, I get where they're going, Lucas. I just think at this point, Cease and Desist is the better tag team in the ring. Not outside the ring, in the ring. And I think that Chopper City needs to be aware that these aren't the same rookies they fought a long time ago.
Nope, they're not. They are in the ring. They are as good as any other tag team that we have in Rocky Mountain Pro. They're clicking on all cylinders. That move is devastating. That
it is
the scales of justice. Yes. It is devastating, and they're a good mix. They have the speed and the striking ability of Eric Reyes. Then they got the power and the explosiveness of Cookie Wright, and that is a great combination they have going, and it's a combination that can match with Atiba and Bruce Wayne's. Atiba and Bruce Wayne's have that kind of good that good chemistry as well. That's that great combination of power and what Atiba brings. so they can match up with them. They can match up with Pretty City Express too. They match up well with both those teams because of what they bring. Yeah, we don't like the shenanigans, but it's also part of what gives them a little bit maybe of an edge if they use it right and don't let it be what they carry themselves. If they do it at the right moments, it could be what will win them the Rocky Mountain Pro Tag Team Championship if they get an opportunity. So, everything we don't like about cease and desist also could be what might help them become the best tag team in Rocky Mountain Pro. So, there's that.
You're not wrong.
You're not. You speak.
I know you hate it when I do this. I know you absolutely hate it because.
But you're right. But I just don't want to hear it. Like we've been married a long time. We know that face sometimes when they know we're right, but they just don't want to hear it. That's. I'm just right there. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Like
You're
that's
not lying, but you're not wrong.
Right.
You're right. 110. And we've seen the kids just do nothing but get better.
Don't let facts get in the way of a good story.
I know that's
Preston's
the way
whole
it
life,
goes,
right?
Not anymore.
And-
They figured out that the Xerox copied of the rule book that had cliff notes in it from somebody's class 10 years ago. All of a sudden, you can't keep doing those things by any means necessary. So it seems like we have to amend that rule book and kind of fix things up.
Oh, Kevin taking shots, baby.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Boy,
How hard did this kick you?
You know what? That's all right. That's all right. I'm getting a new camera guy anyways when I get back to doing journalism. So.
Ooh.
Kevin, who hurt you? Who's Kevin? He's the camera guy.
Yeah.
Wait, he's the camera guy.
Yeah.
Don't do this. No. We know who the Revolution Ranger and Bruce Rogers really were. Okay, don't do it. Doesn't work, Kevin. Doesn't work. We know who the Revolution Ranger was. It was Mr. Beefcake. We know that. All right,
Doctor. He went to doctor.
Doctor Beefcake. I'm sorry. He went
Dude,
to
that's
8 years
dude.
of
Come
beefy
on.
doctor school.
Come on. It's Thursday. It's freaking Thursday. Why are we bringing this kid's name up?
Because you played the rewind intro before the show started.
Yeah, for a second and a half.
I know.
Oh, guys, give Kev some credit. He says, never heard of him. All I know is I woke up with no memory of the last 30 years.
Oh, yeah, that was because of this punk named Eric Reyes. He kicked you in the face when you were doing your job.
Yeah.
No, that's you.
So
no, trust me. Yeah.
So maybe we'll blame your ignorant comment about me on the kick. We'll do that because
amnesia's powerful.
I still have a soft spot in my heart for Kev.
There's 60 years of daytime soap operas built all off amnesia. There is so many. It's a powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful.
I mean, Kev's technically on to something.
Hey, you don't start. Don't you start. You said you weren't going to.
Yes, I did, but we caught up a little bit, and so now I have like an extra 30 seconds. So,
Kev, that fast forward about a year and a half. You're almost back with us. Jump back in the DeLorean. Set it. You got to get out. It's not January of 24. If you set it for like July of 25, you're closer than you were. It's close.
Go back, go to Rocky Mountain's YouTube page and watch the last, year or so of Charged. You'll catch up.
just make sure you remember.
That's tier 2.
Tier 1, technically.
For charge, yeah.
Yeah.
Full charge.
All right. Ice Williams versus Marty the Moth.
Yep. Kev, you need some sleep, but let him take it.
This was a really good match. I mean, I was super impressed with Ice, as I always am. But he really took it to Marty. This is a different Marty we've seen since Milestone. A lot more aggressive. In my opinion, he's using more of his strength and power than he ever has. and that I've seen in Rocky Mountain Pro. It's like he's wrestling angry all the time, or crazy. I mean, we know Marty, and that's a very true possibility too. I just find that with a guy with Marty's resume, for Ice to go out there and absolutely stand toe to toe, I looked at him, guys. There's no hesitation anywhere for Ice Williams. It doesn't really matter who's across from him. He treats every match like it could be his last, and that's exactly what you need to do. And this would have been honestly an early contender for my match of the year here, about halfway through, because this was honestly one of the best matches I've seen on Charge in the last month or so. Like, you got a young guy, you got a seasoned vet. If not for Captain T-Shirt himself, Jason Bravo, who decides to insert himself again. And I get what he's doing with Marty. He's trying to play to the voices in his head, and it cost Marty the match. I mean, he caught an ice pick straight to the jaw, and I mean straight to the jaw. You take a guy that big off his feet, yeah, you could have counted to 50, I think, but the laughing probably woke him up. And as we see later on, they meet up backstage again, and it's like, Mark, it's like that lighter paralyzes Marty. I understand moths are attracted to light, but this has a different effect.
It's been this way since Milestone. Marty has not been Marty. Marty is now this combination of what Damon brought out of him, the moth that he brought out. It didn't just go away. A large part of it has hung around and integrated itself. You were right. He has been fighting crazy. Now, I don't even know if it's more angry or mean, because, like, you don't really see Marty get mean. You just see him getting nuts and absolutely lose his marbles, right? And he has just been losing his proverbial marbles faster than most, getting destroyed in a corner, but then coming up and laughing 3 seconds later. That's the only thing that Ice might have kind of taken a look at. But I think that was already in the scouting plan, that this dude is nuts. And it's like, yep, check. Okay, cool. So I'm kind of already ready for that. But here, this is Bravo kind of playing on that leftover. See, Ice Williams takes nothing away from this match. And I think any one of us, if you're in the ring, you will hit that guy whether he's been looking at you or not. The bell rang, and it's not cheating. It's not taking advantage of the situation. Sorry, it's on Marty for not defending himself. Like, okay, we've heard the bad guys tell us 1,000 times, well, blah, blah, blah. Okay, sure. He had to have defended himself. The match is over. I don't think that's the consequential part. Not for Ice Williams. It's very consequential. I have a win over Martin Casaus right now. Casaus. Right now. So at that point, that's big for him. So, but Marty here, this is Jason Bravo playing for the souls. This is Jason Bravo doing what he can to make the souls into the brick wall that other teams like, and I have to say it, like the Wake were. They were brick walls on every single angle of the building. And right now, that is what the souls already are. You add Casaus into that, and everything changes, especially if the moth hangs around and he really starts losing his mind. Lucas, this could really go downhill very, very quickly, because Marty's not rejecting this. We saw it. He's conflicted as anybody right now, trying to weigh the most important decision of their life. And he's having a wicked hard time doing it here. And I can't say I blame him.
Well, that match at Milestone changed him and possibly forever. And we said that a match like that could change a guy, and could, whether we don't know what it did exactly to Damon Ace, but we know it's affected Martin Casaus. We know it has, and now we're seeing it. We're seeing it. He's conflicted in the head. He's having hearing voices, all kinds of stuff, and Bravo is clearly taking advantage of it. Knows that he's got an opportunity here to really solidify the Tortured Souls as a dominant force in Rocky Mountain Pro. They would be close to unstoppable if everything comes out right. I mean, we talked about what they have in Kevin Koa and Montvito. Now that you add Martin Casaus, and that's a scary situation.
Quick observation, guys. What's scarier? The fact Marty came out changed and is now kind of, having a personality conflict out of that match at Milestone, or that Damon Ace seems normal. Like,
it's something I'd honestly rather not think about, because that's usually when the craziest stuff happens, when people 180 themselves. Like, I'd rather not think about it. I'd rather just let Macio Santos deal with Damon Ace's newfound ability to control himself.
Yeah.
I'll wait and see how that goes for Macio, if that's the way it's going to be.
All right, real quick here, we do have a challenge that was shared on this episode. Stan the Man Logan is willing to go 1-on-1 with the eventual return of Remy D. We've seen the packages as of late, and it's looking like Stan's going to step up to the plate and be Remy's first match since Milestone 15. Your thoughts on this potential contest?
Stan
wants to.
it.
Yeah, he wants to step up. He believes that he deserves the attention that Remy's been getting. You know, Remy's been getting all these video packages, and we talk also quickly about that video package. What we saw, him burning that sign that says, you know, y'all woke up the beast, and that sign burning, that's probably the most symbolic thing that we've had, and maybe the biggest piece of evidence of what we might be seeing when we get a returning Remy. The beast may still be there, but I believe that beast is being at least a little bit scorched, so to speak, and we might be getting a new Remy that maybe we've never seen before, a Remy that might be even different from the Beauty and the Beast. We're going to be getting a whole nother Remy that's maybe even more a more charismatic Remy, if that's even possible. I don't know, because he was already the most charismatic guy we've ever seen. So, but the things that we've heard and the things that we've seen, this Remy is going to be like nothing we've ever seen, and Stanley wants to outshadow him, wants him to get all the praise, and wants all the attention on him. Well, he's going to have a big chance if Remy answers this challenge, and Remy comes back and has Stan the Man as his first match back. Boy, this is an opportunity for Stanley Logan, Coastal, that if he's able to pull off this video after all of the video package, after everything we've seen from Remy, that would be big.
100% it would be big, and good on him for stepping up. I just think that he might not understand what's going on right now, because, you know, we saw the vignette, we heard, you know, what survives the fire comes out stronger, and that's kind of a blacksmithing metaphor. You know, they forge strong swords in the fires. And Remy's been through some fire this last year. Everything he's went through, it just seems like it's made him stronger. For a while there, I thought it might have broke him mentally, but no, I don't think we're getting the Beauty. I don't think we're getting the Beast. I think we're getting Remy. I think we're getting raw and just unfiltered Remy. This isn't going to be the pomp and circumstance. It's not going to be what we saw when he was aligned with D'Lo, where it was kind of the evil, maniacal. No, this is just going to be straight, raw Detroit Remy. And Stan, you better be ready. Right, Mark?
It's going to take everything he's got. But, like, we can look back at Stanley Logan, too, and nowhere near the degree that Remy D has been ever since the Beast took over. Let's face it, he was the Beauty and the Beast. Then the damn Beast just took over, and he lost himself and went down this path. That's why I think the burning of that sign that said, y'all woke up the Beast, I think the Beast even took Remy away from what he even knew that was the Beast. So he had to kind of like refocus himself and kind of recenter himself. He called himself, this is the time for refinement. What survives the fire, what doesn't survive the water comes refined. And that's only something you can get after a lot of experience. Stanley Logan, Rocky Mountain now for a little while, and a lot of his experiences here have been negative. He hasn't had a lot of success. He's been in a few tag teams, but they always seem to take L's. He's had a couple wins, but on the vast majority of things, not much success. Let's put it that way. He's gone out and thrown good matches, but very few times has he gotten the praise and the accolades and his music playing at the end of the match. And we see this in wrestling. Hell, we saw Remy D do this. This is what started the beast last year of I'm not getting my respect. Everybody else is getting it and I want it right now. This is almost like to me, what I'm watching this is that Stanley's kind of going down the road that has already been well traveled. And it doesn't really end very well. You can end up off of the ditch, off of the cliff, or kind of where you get to a point where you can refine yourself and realize that if you slow down, it's about the journey getting there, not just hurrying up to what you think is the end. I think that might be something Remy's realized, that the journey's more important than just taking everything you want now. Stanley, I don't think, has had anything to even take yet, so he's trying to take anything he can find. Make a lot of mistakes that way. And you can't make any mistakes against Remy D. So this is going to have to be something Stanley's going to have to be on his 100. But even then, I don't know if he's got enough. I really don't.
All right, and to finish it off, we did have the tag team championships up for grabs in the main event of Charge. We had Chopper City going up against PCE, Pretty City Express, in a rematch for Milestone 15.
I will tell you, the Baby Oil City Express was great, weren't they? They were really good, Coastal.
Yeah, they were. They came out like 10 times more aggressive than I've ever seen. Usually they're trying to play mind games with you in the beginning, slow the match down. No, straight to it, just straight fist, straight violence. The knee drops, the way that they were working there's one particular part I remember in the match where Bruce is in there and Pretty City Express is mocking the crowd with chop motions, and he's working on Bruce's arm and chopping his arm and knee dropping it, and it's right before the hot tag, and it just, at that point I was like, man, they did come back better. They came back more aggressive. Like, I didn't think they could do it, and I'm like, they might upset Chopper City, or this might be a short reign. And even when Atiba came in and started running it off the hot tag, I was still like, wait, well, this is Pretty City Express. They're both in there right now. Now I'm worried. Now we got shenanigans that can happen. And we almost saw those shenanigans. We did. But Atiba, he learned. That's what makes Chopper City so good, is they understood that Pretty City Express had the double team. They were going to try and manipulate the ref. They did it once before in the match when Bruce had a pin, pulled him off, double teamed him. Atiba was ready. He was able to reverse that victory roll. And while they're holding Bruce and trying to make sure they don't, Atiba doesn't kick out, Atiba picks up a win here. This was something that does a lot for Chopper City, but I think it might be the breaking point for Pretty City Express. They're at a crossroads here. They lost their rematch. They're obviously angry. They might even be a little shook at this point from the way they lost, because their well-laid plan didn't work out the way they wanted to, Marky. Now we have cease and desist, Chopper City, tag teams that remind me a lot of each other, power, speed. What do we think?
I think it's going to be the biggest test that Cease and Desist will ever step up to in their young tag team career, if that's the way it goes. Pretty City Express did very well. If you watch both matches, this second match, you can tell they changed the game plan. Far faster tags. They didn't just worry about isolating one of them. They isolated both members of Chopper City. They had Atiba first, then they isolated Bruce. They put the beat down on both of them. They played with the ref well. And here was the thing, too. Cease and Desist was sitting out on the stage, getting that ringside view while they were munching down on some snacks and stuff like that, kind of just making sure to get a scouting view. And that's good from the kids. Actually, you don't see a lot of that. Usually you'd see them coming in and stepping in and interfering, but they didn't do that. They let this whole thing work its way out, and probably better off that they did, because then both teams would want to kick their ass. So this way you let it work it out. But Pretty City Express, I can't even say that they made any mistakes in this match. At the very end, they came in to break up the sucker buster, but at the same time, Reno and Atiba were the legal ones, and Atiba had Reno up in the flagjack position. So that's on Class. He should have dumped out Boss and then gone after, but they didn't. They let his emotions get a hold of him, and at the very end, even the amended plan. We've talked about it 100 times, right? You even said it earlier tonight, B. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C kind of thing. They went with Plan A at Milestone, failed. They went with Plan B and Plan C tonight, failed. Chopper City is still your tag team champions, Lucas. They always be chopping, and they still always be the champions. Now cease and desist. Where can they take their game that Pretty City Express did?
That's a good question. They have to get to that level and beyond, because we just saw Chopper City take the very best that Pretty City Express had and still were able to come out victorious, because Pretty City Express had a game plan and it was working, and yet it still wasn't enough. So but it looks to me like Cease and Desist are up to the challenge, at least of scouting. They're taking this very seriously. It looks like it. It looks like they're taking this as like we want it to, whoever's going to be the champions. We're out here to do our homework, and we're going to try to see what the weaknesses are of whoever we're going to face. So now, they're probably going to get with Preston. They're going to get the whole office. They're going to get together. They're going to come up with a game plan, and they might use a little bit of what worked for Pretty City Express, and then maybe what didn't work and what would cost them. Maybe they have a game plan to stop that from happening, to prevent any weaknesses there might be, and that's going to hopefully be what, for them anyways, what they'll end up getting them the tag team championships. We know though, Chopper City always has a defense for everything. They had it on this episode. They had a defense for at the very end. It didn't look good, but at the very end they came out victorious. So now now they've got to come up with a game plan for Cease and Desist. This is going to be kind of like looking at a little bit of a younger version of themselves in a way.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, that is going to conclude our review of episode 456. Any final thoughts on this episode?
I'm very excited to see what Damon's stipulation is.
And leading into now this tag team title situation that Cease and Desist and the law office, and especially now that Matt and D'Lo are all tied in with Preston, now that they're on to it, if Cease and Desist do get that opportunity, will it be legit? Will it won't be? We're going to still have to see some more interaction from D'Lo and then on the rules, but something tells me, Preston, you're going down.
I can't wait to see Remy D. The Remy D that we're going to see. That's what I'm excited about. And it's going to be spectacular, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Lucas, you guys got another busy weekend on tap, I do believe.
Yep, a brand new venue tomorrow night, guys. Once again, Littleton Brewing Company. I believe it's 1201 West Littleton Boulevard. I know it's West Littleton Boulevard. Look up Littleton Brewing Company. Show starts at 7, guys, a little earlier than usual. So for our Friday events, so make sure you get down there early. Go on to our website, rmpwrestling.com, for more information. And then we are going to be at Mile High Flea Market both Saturday and Sunday. We do have blocks of wrestling that go from 11 to 3. So at price of the show is free with the price of admission to Mile High Flea Market. So get in there, having a big family fun fest that whole weekend. So a bunch of things for the kids to do. Watch some wrestling, all kinds of different foods will be available, and all kinds of face painting and different stuff. So definitely get the family down there. Have a good time.
Absolutely.
And if you see a guy in an orange suit, run the other direction.
All right, and on Sunday we are back on the rewind grind. I do believe that we are either on Shocktober or we're like a week before Shocktober.
We should be on Shocktober because I think Supercharged was the go home for, but there might be a special episode, but I'm pretty sure we're on Shocktober.
Sweet.
I will double check to make sure, but it's at least Shocktober or one special episode or whatever before that. So I have to look back and see what we last watched and see what's after it. But yeah, that is the plan for Sunday. I know it's been a crazy week. We'll talk about a lot about that in the beginning of Sunday's episode. Obviously, we're against the clock tonight. Other than that, folks, that is going to wrap up this show. So YouTube and Rumble, we will see you guys on Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. over in the mountain regions for the Rocky Mountain Rewind. Presented by the Dudes and Belts. As always, folks, stay safe, stay classy, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, folks.